Hey guys, Jay here and welcome back to the channel for a very important XRP video. This is definitely a date you're going to want to mark in your calendar, but at the same time, you don't want to overstate the position that XRP is currently in. We're going to be going over all of the ins and outs. We'll go over a news article. We'll look at what Brad's got to say, and I'll give you my point of view on things moving forward. But this is a monumental moment for the XRP community and for the overall crypto space, because I keep saying to people, we need a huge influx of retail, and retail are really only interested in things that have genuine real world use cases, and XRP really does provide that real world use case. So let's take a look at what Brad's got to say. The SEC asked for $2 billion and the court reduced their demand by 94%, recognizing that they had overplayed their hand. We respect the court's decision and have clarity to continue growing our company. So this is a victory for Ripple, the industry, and the rule of law. The SEC headwinds against the whole of the XRP community are gone. So there's only one of two things that can really happen now. We'll go through a news article and then we'll move over to my perspective on things, and I'll explain what the possible next steps of this whole situation is going to be. So we have got a pretty decent article here over at CoinDesk. It's probably the best one that outlines everything that is currently ongoing. So a federal judge ordered Ripple to pay $125 million in civil penalties and impose an injunction against future security law violations on Wednesday. District Judge Annalise Torres of the Southern District New York Court imposed the fine after finding that 1,278 institutional sales transactions by Ripple violated securities laws. Leading to the fine, the $125 million fine is well below the $1 billion in disgorgement and prejudgment interest and the $900 million in civil penalties that the SEC sought. Wednesday's order on remedies follows the judge's July 2023 ruling in the case itself, finding that Ripple violated security laws through its direct sales of XRP to institutional clients, though she also ruled that Ripple's pragmatic sales of XRP to retail clients through exchanges did not violate any securities laws. So the SEC tried unsuccessfully to appeal that portion of the ruling while the case was ongoing. Judge Torres also banned Ripple from future violations of federal securities laws on Wednesday, saying that while she isn't making a judgment that Ripple has violated any laws after the SEC filed its lawsuit, the company may well cross the line, in a section referring to the Ripple's on-demand liquidity offerings. So rather, the court finds that Ripple's willingness to push the boundaries of the orders evinces a likelihood that it will eventually, if it has not already, cross the line, she said. On balance, the court finds that there is a reasonable probability of future violations meriting the issuance of an injunction. The injunction document requires Ripple to file a registration statement if it intends to sell any securities. So in itself, Ripple definitely has learned a lot from this case, and as to what Brad has really tweeted out, he's not really explained what could possibly happen next. So let me kind of break this down for you and really explain where we are currently in this case. So as of now, there hasn't been a final judgment in the Ripple XRP case. The recent developments involve a settlement, but the case could still continue if the SEC decides to appeal, and if they do, the legal process will extend, and a final resolution will only occur after the appellate's court's decision or further legal actions. So the situation remains dynamic. It's very important to monitor everything that's going on at the moment. So when we're looking at the SEC and if they intend to file an appeal, and everything that's currently circulating points to that being an outcome. So the first thing that's going to happen is the SEC will file a notice to appeal with the court outlining their objections to the decision, and then both parties, being SEC and Ripple, will submit briefs arguing their positions. The SEC will argue why the lower court's decision should be overturned, while Ripple will defend the original ruling. So there's probably going to be a bit of an oral argument where a panel of the appellate judges may hear oral arguments from both sides. And then we're going to have the appellate court's decision, which will issue a decision that will either affirm, reverse, or remand the case back to a lower court for further proceedings. Now, depending on the appellate court's ruling, the losing party might appeal to the Supreme Court. Though this is pretty rare, this could also extend the process further. So now a lot of you are probably going to be thinking, when is a final judgment going to occur? And this typically occurs after all legal proceedings are concluded. Since the SEC may appeal the recent settlement, the timeline for the final judgment is uncertain and depends on whether the case moves through the appellate court itself. Now, to remove all of the pros and the cons and to really boil this down for you at the end of the video, Ripple has achieved a significant victory over the SEC. And it has been deemed as not a security, and all we're really waiting for now is going to be that final judgment and whether the SEC are going to appeal or not. As to what Ripple, XRP itself and RLUSD can do now, from my point of view, this leaves the road completely clear and open for them to push forward with complete global adoption of their ecosystem, whether this is going to be in Japan, the United States, in the UK, wherever it's going to be used and utilized, they can go ahead and focus on that now. I said in my previous video that XRP itself could trigger the bull run, and I really do stand by that statement because of the simple fact that we need a large injection of new capital into the total crypto market cap. And BTC is in a position where it's not profitable to mine BTC coins unless they're valued at around $110,000. So something really does have to kickstart this market and get it moving upwards. So looking at XRP, it is bounced very strongly on that trend line that has been forming for a significant amount of time. We're talking about 4 years. This trend line has been there, it's been forming, and it's been consistently bouncing and moving up. And this is why it's so important to zoom out and have a look at the chart on a broader scale. Because when we're looking in, we're zoomed in and we're inside this very small bubble, we forget to look at the bigger picture. And the bigger picture of XRP really is this thing is going to reach unprecedented levels where you're going to find yourself in a position where you'll say, I wish I bought more. Whether it's 20 years from now, 30 years from now, 40 years from now, you don't want to find yourself in that position. And a lot of people say to me, what is a decent sized bag of XRP coins? And I say to someone, if you think about what Ethereum did, if you think about what Solana did or what BTC did, each one of those had the same stigmatization of it's not going to do anything. It's dead and it's not going anywhere. And so many people have found themselves on the negative side of that deal, and nobody wants to be on the losing side of a deal. So I personally think 1,000 XRP coins has the possibility of changing your future. You've just got to be willing to wait that significant amount of time, because quick, easy gains is not what you're going to find here. What you're going to find here is smart gains for those that are willing to hodl for the long term. And yes, the long term can mean 5, 10, 20, 30 years from now, like I've been saying, right? But if you want to change your future, you have to start by changing the now. It's such an important aspect of investing in crypto to understand the difference between memes and your blue chips. So XRP is looking pretty good on the day, and to be quite honest, the whole crypto market is looking really good on the day. So I expect better things on the horizon, especially with CZ Binance being released from prison. That's definitely going to be some strong wins for us to put our sails up and push ahead. Now, let's move over to the hourly view and take a look at the current structure that is forming. And what we're seeing is a decent pole and flag playing out. And what these typically tell us is there's good buying sentiment behind this chart, and they're very easy patterns to trade on. So it could lead to more people wanting to get involved. So something that I did say during the video was that this isn't a buy the rumor, sell the news situation, and the fact that this has all been priced into the market for a significant amount of time. I do stand by that statement as well. But what everybody needs to understand, and if you haven't read deeply on XRP, is exactly what this thing does. You would need a 5-hour video to really break down the depths of where this is going. But over time, what I'm hoping to do here on the channel is provide those drips and drabs of information on what's going on and keeping you guys up to date so you can better understand and better trade in the market moving forward with more confidence. So if you like the content here, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hit the notifications bell to stay informed. And aside that, I'll catch you in the next one.